Good morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I've got my weekly weigh-in results for you guys. So in the past week I've had one off-plan meal when I went to my dad's house for dinner. I'll link the meals of the week video up above or down below so you guys can see what I had. It wasn't, well, you won't see it, I just explain it in the video. It wasn't me overeating or anything like that. It was just whatever my stepmom served I ate and it was delicious. And that's all I had that was off plan this week. Otherwise I have been 98% on plan, and I do feel a lot better going into this week's weigh-in. When I went into this week's weigh-in, when I went into last week's weigh-in, because last week I'd had 2 off plan meals and I hadn't really been eating, although I had been eating on plan and everything, I don't feel that I ate as well as I had been eating the first couple of weeks on Slimming World. This week I went to the shops and I got all my berries and everything because I really am enjoying my berries at the minute. Still couldn't get blackberries, but hopefully that's going to change this week. Fingers crossed. I really have been taking the same breakfast every day since I started back on Slimming World to work with me. It's like a little tubby cottage cheese, and then I have a Muller light yogurt and some berries and everything with that, like a lot of speed berries and speed fruit. Last week I didn't have all the berries and a lot of speed fruit. I was eating up all, it was free food, it was free, sin free, but I feel that it's better when you eat a lot of speed, which is a lot different to how I used to do Slimming World. I used to just eat whatever was free food. I used to prefer bananas and grapes, which aren't speed, but this time I am just doubling down on the berries, on the speed fruit. So yeah, I basically take the same breakfast to work every day with me, and I'm really enjoying it. I will get bored of it eventually, but let's hope it's not for another few weeks, and so I can get another few losses in, good losses in, because I do feel that is really helping my weight loss at the minute and that. Anyway, last week I had a 2.5 pound gain on the scale, which, I mean, it can either go two ways with it. It can either make you more determined to do better for the week ahead, or you could just have a it attitude and just have an off-plan day, an off-plan couple of days, or just give up entirely. For me, it definitely, I mean, I was sticking to plan mostly anyway, apart from the planned off-plan meals that I already had. I guess it had more I was more determined. I did go out and make sure that I bought all the berries and everything. I just wanted to make sure that I had them in. It didn't make me want to give up or anything like that. I was over it by the time I'd finished my video, to be honest with you. I was just like, well, it is what it is. The following day, Star Week arrived, and I hadn't even, I think it's like a little bit early actually this month. I hadn't had any symptoms or that, which is why it didn't even occur to me when I done my weigh-in that might have had a little bit of a influence on what happened on the scale last week. In the past, it hasn't ever gave me that much again, ever. I might have had a little bit again. I think mostly because I have really, honestly, I've been doing this so long now, a couple of years now, that I can't remember if it's ever gave me a gain. I think it's probably more likely that I've just had a maintain that week and not any loss, even though I've been 100% on plan. Just with the water retention and feeling bloated and everything at time of the month, I don't think it's ever wielded great results when it's coming up to time of the month for me before. So that might have had a little bit of a, why do I keep wanting to say influence? I don't think anything can influence the scale, but I can't think of any other words at the minute. I'm pretty tired today, guys. I woke up with a banging headache and it's still lingering. Yeah, I think Star Week maybe affected the scales a little bit last week, but I don't know. Who knows? What's happened. I've recorded it as a 2.5 pound gain, and that's what it's going to be on my journey. That will have been a 2.5 pound gain last week. But this week has been great. I was stuck to plan 98% apart from that one-off planned meal with my dad. I was really busy at work this past week. I knew this was happening. I had quite a busy week ahead in this week because there's more people off on holiday and everything, so that means that the rest of us have to pick up the slack where they're not going to be here and that, which is probably the same for everybody at the minute. But I knew this week in particular there's a lot more people off this week than there actually should be. Somebody messed up somewhere in HR. However, I had planned for this week and well, I always do some sort of batch cooking. Like the start of this month I done a big batch cook. In my meals of the week video I did mention spaghetti bolognese and taco mince, but I also made a big pot of chilli, which is literally gone now because I've been eating it for lunches and that as well. And I'd done those three things. I'd done a version for Ali and a version for me, a Slim and World version for me. And then I also made a big pot of butternut squash soup, which lasted a good few days. It was only meant to be for me, but Ali really enjoyed it as well, so it lasted a little bit longer than it was meant to last. No, it lasted not as long as it was meant to last, sorry. I also done a load of boiled eggs and deviled eggs as well, so you wouldn't have seen any of me eating any of that because that was all for lunches and stuff. But it really helped that week. And the ones that you did see, the spaghetti bolognese and the taco and the chili, you would have seen them again this week, and that was because I had planned, I knew this was coming up, so I had planned to use them again this week and just use them as like homemade ready meals, quick and easy meals. And I did feel really good about it because they were homemade and I could just pull them out of the freezer, just do some pasta or something like that to go with them, and quick and easy meal. No matter how tired I was still eating a home cooked, healthy, ready meal. It really was worth it spending that like full day. It was practically a full day at the start of the month just doing some batch cooking. I wish I could do more because I used to do it like every Sunday. For a good few years, every Sunday I would spend the day just, well, not the whole day, but I would spend a good few hours on a Sunday batch cooking and preparing what food I could for the week ahead. But that was when I worked part-time. That was when I worked part-time. And I had a lot more time to do that kind of thing, and I don't have that kind of time now. I have 2 days off a week. I don't want to spend a full day of my 2 days off a week just cooking and that. I do want to, I might try and look into doing it every couple of weeks or something, but yeah, I really appreciated having those meals that I could just pull out the freezer. Made life so much easier this past week. So last week when I stepped on the scales, I was 10 stone, 12.5 pound. And that was my 2.5 pound gain last week. And this morning when I stepped on the scale, I weighed in at 10 stone, 7 pound. So that means again, there's been a 5.5 pound loss. It may not be entirely accurate because it may not have been entirely accurate last week when I had the 2.5 pound gain. We don't know that. We don't know what went on. Time of the month can play some havoc with your weight and everything, but that is what I weighed this morning. Do you know what else I noticed as well is when I have quite a significant loss, I will step on and off the scales about 300 times just to make sure that it's right. Last week when I stepped on that scale and I saw the 2.5 pound gain, I only double checked it once and accepted it. Why do I accept the gains so much more easily than I do the losses? Because again this morning I stepped on and off the scales so many times just to make sure that it was correct. So I've lost 5.5 pound this week. If we take away the fact that last week never happened, in total I've lost 3 pound over the last 2 weeks. So I'm very happy with that. That brings my total weight loss now up to 13 pound. I'm 1 pound away from my 1 stone milestone. Yeah, so I'm obviously very happy with that. I did feel so much better this week going into the weigh-in. Although, to be fair, I did feel pretty good going into last week's weigh-in. I maybe just didn't feel as confident because I'd had 2 off-plan meals and I'd ate a lot of bananas and grapes last week rather than all my berries and everything. I do feel so much better when I have all the speed food and everything. And I do also think that I have been a lot better with my speed food this time, so far anyway, on Slim World than I have been previously. I am trying to make sure that there's a lot more speed food on my plate for dinners and things like that. Not every single meal is perfect, but I do try my best to be as good as I can with all the speed food, and obviously it is working because not a lot really has changed between me being on Slimming World this time to the last time. I've still had a lot of the same meals and everything like that. Like I said at the start of the video with the berries and that, I'm eating a lot more of them kind of things now rather than just sin-free fruit. Oh my god. And then I am trying to make sure that I have a lot more speed with my meals and everything, even my lunch and all that, or if I have a brunch. And not eating, that has to be probably the most significant thing that's changed since the last time I was on Slimming World, is that I'm not eating after my dinner at night at all. I wouldn't go so far to say as what's the word, what is it when they don't starve themselves? Oh my god, Fiona does it. Intermittent fasting. I'm not intermittent fasting. I don't eat, I mean, we can have our dinner up until 7 o'clock at night. So say 7 o'clock, I don't eat between 7 o'clock and maybe 8 o'clock the next day. That's that's 13 hours. I do still drink a lot in that time. Apart from when I'm sleeping, I'll have a sugar-free iron brew and maybe a cup of tea. I always have a cup of tea before I go to sleep at night. And then in the morning I'll have a couple of coffees before I go to work because I need them before I go to work. Yeah, I don't know what's going on this time. I don't know why I'm getting bigger losses on the scales this time. I don't know. I know it's going to slow down at some point, but I'm very happy the way it's going at the minute. But even if I was getting £0.5 losses, I'd also be very happy with the way it was going at the minute. And I think that's all I have to say this week. Thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. Please don't forget to let me know how you guys are doing in the comments below. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.